Hi everybody, welcome to the Variety Hour. This is Uma Kamaraju. Welcome. Nice to have you here. Thanks for stopping by, checking us out here on the Strategy Room. It is 11 o'clock Eastern Time, and here on the East Coast we are bracing for what they are calling a monster storm, which is supposed to start after midnight tonight our time and continue throughout the day. A real nor'easter coming our way heading tomorrow, so a lot of folks are thinking about that, what we should do, people hunkering down, schools closing, all kinds of things. And of course for folks on the East Coast who experienced this weekend's big storm, this is coming on top of that one. So it's going to be amazing to see how people are able to deal with it and dig out from all of this down in Washington, etc. So it's going to be very interesting, obviously. We've had crazy weather up here out west. They're having to deal with all the mudslides, and our hearts go out to the people that are dealing with that very tough situation there, and people losing their homes and all. And so, you know, a lot's going on that's challenging. So in the meanwhile, I thought it might be nice if we try to focus on something a little bit lighter, in the sense that we want to focus on affairs of the heart, because Valentine's Day is coming up soon. It's just around the corner. And for those of you who are still trying to find ways to think about attracting that soulmate, that special person in your life, there are unusual ways to do that, to achieve that. There are people who believe in traditional methods about going about finding that right person. But my next guest is here, who has a very unusual approach and who has tried it herself and knows firsthand that the method actually works. Hypnotherapist Deborah Brandt, who's here, and we're so glad you're here with us.
Thanks.
You are known as the Love Hypnotist. She has a radio show in the New York area where she is heard by so many people about advice for those who are looking to heal their relationships, and people who are looking to find out that true soulmate, that you know, being authentic with themselves, being out there to try to put the energies out there to attract the right individual. You also have a new book,
yes,
which is called Let Love In, which is,
she has it up there.
It's got up there on the screen. Let Love In, and there's a lot to talk about here, because I know you also have some DVDs as well, Attracting Great Love, and hypnosis in and of itself to me is fascinating to begin with. I mean, you're not only talking about, you can focus in helping people to break addictions, to attract love, to attract wealth, to attract, you know, whatever it is people want to do, or to break bad habits. But in this particular area that you have focused on, I find it very interesting, because you say the reason you decided to move into this realm is because you tried it yourself, and
yes,
you were able to attract your soulmate.
Yes, absolutely.
Tell me more about this.
Well, I struggled with dating my whole life. I mean, I was, in my early 20s, I knew about the power of the mind, and I kept trying to work on myself and thinking something was wrong with me, but I kept attracting men that weren't available. And my friends were all getting married, and I was getting into my 30s and then close to my 40s, and I couldn't figure out what I was doing wrong. And relationships were such a heartache for me, because I really felt that when someone would break up with me or not call me, it would just be a very deep emotional pain.
Of course.
And what I found out was it wasn't about the men, it was another deep emotional pain that was in my subconscious that was constantly attracting the same type of guy. And it was based on, I call it the love template we have that formed when we're young in life. And then when we grow up, that new information we experience and all the new knowledge we have just sits on the surface of our mind, but never really affects the subconscious. And so I was in the corporate world, and I had a friend of mine had just got out of hypnotherapy school, and I said, you know, I really want to get over this need to get approval from men. And one session, the next day, a guy was supposed to call me, and he didn't, and I didn't have that same ache anymore. It was like someone took a tumor out of me. And I was like, wow, this is really cool. And I got laid off about 6 months later, and I went to hypnotherapy school, and 7 years ago, had great practice. And what I realized is, you talk about habits for hypnosis. Well, dating the wrong people is a habit.
It's a habit.
Everything in
Absolutely.
life is a habit.
Sure.
So the habit is formed in the subconscious. The subconscious likes to keep everything the same. So if you keep trying to fix something on the surface, which is look good on the outside and you know, get smarter or have a better career, men and women.
Fix what's inside.
Yes.
Yeah,
but it's deep. It's not.
Deep.
It's not surface.
It's easier said than done for so many people, of course. It seems relatively easy, but easier said than done. Now, how soon after, when you started incorporating these techniques, did you attract the soulmate? that you are referring to?
About a year it took me, because I kept doing the same thing that some of my clients do, is they keep sabotaging. When I got out of hypnotherapy school, it was like a new world for me. All these men were like everywhere. Every time I went to happy hour, there were like 5 or 6 guys around me all the time, and this never happened to me. And I just started dating all these guys, and they were great, but they weren't really what I wanted. And so when I fine-tuned what I wanted and started clearing away all the things that I didn't want, I met my man, and he's just amazing, and he's different than any man I've ever dated.
What makes him so special? I'm always curious to know.
Well, I always wanted a spiritual guy, because I'm a very spiritual person, and I always wanted someone who had a depth to them. But I always dated guys younger than me, and he was 8 years older. But it was just, there was something, by visualizing your love in hypnosis, you actually get to know how it feels to be in love, and you actually change your subconscious about really that love is safe, because a lot of people are afraid of love. That's why my book is called Let Love In, because most people push it away because they don't feel they're worthy of it. And so you're really fooling your subconscious. And then when I met him, it was like instantly I knew it was him.
You knew it was him.
And he knew it was me.
Wow.
And
that's amazing. I love that. I love stories like that.
And I was 41 when I met him. So a lot of my clients are like, oh, my time has passed, and I'm never going to meet anyone. And it just, I was the worst dater in the world. I had the worst relationship history. And this can change anyone. And it's not really about that something's wrong with you. It's just the way you look at yourself. And this subconscious, the hypnosis gives you access to the subconscious to change that.
I want all of you out there, men and women, if you have questions for my guest, please email me, because I know this is a subject that touches many hearts. And there are a lot of people out there who are interested in hypnosis and also curious to explore this realm and to see perhaps if this is for them, because if you're saying it worked for you, it works for your clients. Talk to me for a moment about the response that you've been generating over the years through your practice in terms of people coming to you looking specifically for relationship help.
Well, what happens is people come into my office, they all have the same story. I keep getting dumped. I don't know what's wrong with me. And really what's interesting is that most of these people, men and women, are extremely attractive. They're very well educated. They have great personalities, and they just keep attracting the wrong people. And they come with these really deep heartaches. And then when they start to see that the hypnosis is changing the way they react in relationships, and they're more confident, they're not as needy and graspy when they meet someone they like, and they're able to just stand in their power. For some people, it could take an hour, like I mentioned earlier before we started. I do single events, and sometimes I'll do a visualization, and people will meet someone that night exactly who they envisioned an hour before. And then other people, one woman took my workshop and 30 days later met her man and actually married them.
Oh, wow.
In Colorado, I was standing on the mountaintop with them, and now she's a hypnotherapist, and she's very, very successful, and actually worked with her on childbirth, and she gave birth to her baby with hypnosis without pain. And so it's amazing. And
have a lot of your clients been able to end up eventually marrying the person that they attracted?
Yes, and what happens too, this is really incredible. It's like I don't get them to just attract anyone. I get them to attract an incredible person, like someone that blows their hair back, like someone that they never thought they can ever have, that their friends that got married when they were 20s because it was easy, you know, they just got into that marriage really quickly. Their friends envy that because they have this incredible, intense, deep relationship because they really love themselves. And, you know, in my book I talk about the surface relationships. A lot of people get into these surface relationships. Just because you're married doesn't mean that you're happy and you have the relationship you want. These women and men get into these relationships with the person of their dreams. You know, like not movie stuff.
So you really have to basically ask the person, if you could have anybody in the world, what is it, the kind of individual you're looking for, and really hold on to that.
Yes.
That idea, that energy.
And you hold the vision, and it's not, what they learn is that it's not about the physical, it's about the emotional. And the physical comes, I mean, most of the people they attract are beautiful, too. I mean, but that's not as important. It's like how you want to feel with that person. Right. And I think a lot of times when people are dating, they get distracted by the looks and the image of the person, how much money they make or what kind of position they have. And they don't really look deep to the red flags and really, is this person going to be a great husband or a father 10 years down the road? So it's really amazing. And for me, it's like, I feel like so lucky that I have the man I have. He's just amazing.